Fantasy Football Draft 2025, the ultimate guide to dominating your league. If you're ready to elevate your fantasy football game this year, you're in the right place. The 2025 Draft Plan of Lists 2.0 is here to arm you with strategies, player insights, and tactical advantages to outsmart your competition. But here's where it gets tricky. The difference between a winning draft and a disastrous one often hinges on when you pick and why you pick. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty. What exactly is the Draft Plan of Lists 2.0? Think of this as your personalized roadmap to fantasy football success. It's not just a list of names. It's a strategic framework designed to guide your pre-draft planning, all the way through post-draft free agent pickups. Whether you're playing a standard 12-team PPR league or a Superflex format, this guide adapts to your needs. And if you're hungry for deeper analysis, check out my rankings commentary or the RSP Dynasty rankings for a breakdown of the logic behind these picks. Why this year's plan matters. List 2.0 isn't just an update, it's a recalibration. Since my initial release in August, injuries, roster changes, and ADP shifts have reshaped the landscape. Players marked with an underline have been newly added or adjusted based on these factors. The key takeaway? Flexibility. If your top choices are gone, the alternates listed here can still help you build a contender. The draft strategy I'm betting on. This year, I'm doubling down on a classic approach. Prioritize the best values at your draft position. Whether that means grabbing a quarterback early, stacking running backs in the first rounds, or balancing your roster with a mix of positions, the goal is simple. Maximize upside while minimizing risk. But here's the twist. Strategies aren't one size fits all. For rookies, sticking to the plan is safer. For pros, use it as a flexible framework to exploit your opponent's patterns. Controversial pick. My do not draft list. Or is it? Let's stir the pot a bit. I technically don't have a hard and fast do not draft list. Instead, I avoid certain players unless they drop at least 2 rounds below their ADP. Why? Because sometimes the market gets it wrong, and that's where value hides. For example, Trey McBride might be a risky bet if Marvin Harrison Jr. steals the spotlight. But if he falls to you in round 4, could he be a steal? Food for thought. Round by round breakdown. Who to target, who to skip. Rounds 1 to 4, the foundation of your dynasty. 1 QB leagues. Early pick, Lamar Chase is still the WR1, but his ceiling might be higher than his ADP suggests. Pair him with Lamar Jackson for a QB WR1 combo that could dominate early. Middle pick. Christian McCaffrey's health is a wild card. If he's on the board in round 2, grab him. His upside far outweighs the risk. Late pick. Derrick Henry's offensive line is his secret weapon. If he's available in round 3, he's a no-brainer. Superflex leagues. Early pick. Lamar Jackson is still the gold standard for quarterbacks. If you're in a Superflex, taking him in the first round isn't just smart, it's essential. Middle pick. Kyren Williams' recent contract extension is a green flag. He's a top 10 RB with a secure workload. Late pick. Caleb Williams, the rookie QB, is a high-risk, high-reward pick. Only consider him if your team has enough proven starters to balance the gamble. The players I'm avoiding, unless they're bargains. Rashee Rice. My colleague Brandon Angelo, a pro trainer, warns that Rice's injury recovery could limit his explosiveness this season. If he's still on the board in round 5, consider it a steal, but not before. Breece Hall. Talent-wise, he's elite. But the Jets committee RB approach gives me pause. Unless he drops significantly, I'd rather wait. Jaden Daniels, second-year QBs often struggle, and defenses have had time to adjust. If you're drafting Daniels early, be prepared for a rocky start. Alternates, your safety net. If your top picks are gone, don't panic. The alternates listed here are curated to fill gaps while maintaining value. For example, if Lamar Chase is taken, Nico Collins could be a viable running back 2 in the second round. But remember, position scarcity matters. If you're lacking a QB in Superflex, prioritize that over chasing a running back. The rookie debate, is Ashton Jeanty overrated? Here's a controversial take. I'm not convinced Janty will get the volume needed to thrive as a rookie. Yes, he has the tools to be a top 3 running back eventually, but until he proves he can handle a heavy workload, I'd rather wait. Do you agree, or do you think he's a can't-miss prospect? Sound off in the comments. Final thoughts. Your move, your league. Fantasy football is as much about psychology as it is about stats. Use this guide as a foundation, but don't be afraid to adapt. If everyone's chasing Jamar Chase, maybe it's time to zig where the crowd zags. After all, the best drafts aren't about following the herd. They're about outthinking them. What's your strategy for 2025? Let's discuss.